Good morning, everybody. Who's alive out there?
Morning.
Do we have some Pearl Jam fans? Who wants to get us started? Who's got a smile on their face this morning with something positive going on? Tracy, what you got?
I got a buyer who wrote an offer on Sunday, and we got accepted offer yesterday. So pretty excited.
Awesome. Well, you know my follow-up. What's the story behind it?
Uh,
Tell us a
so
little bit. How long you been
okay,
working with them? How long's the
yeah.
property been on?
So only been working with her for like 3 weeks. This is our third offer that we've written. The property just came on the market this week, so it was available for the open house. We wrote a very compelling offer, and we got the great news. I was excited. I sent her a little gif of a drum roll, and then I
Nice.
let her know she got an accepted offer. So she was super excited about it.
Was
Beautiful
this
home. She is still thrilled.
was this from a past client, sphere, referral, lead source?
Yeah, it's from one of my lead sources. So
Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah.
So let's talk about the buyer's agreement then, right? 3
Yep.
weeks.
Yep.
This is an online lead, I assume. So how'd you go about the buyer's agreement? And was there any issues there, or was it
So I
first time I met him, got him to sign?
Yep. So what I did was the way I do it is I let people know when I set the appointment that I'm sending them a contract to review, that it's a new rule, and I want them to be informed. I don't want them to feel rushed at the appointment. So I send it, they can review it. They have the option to sign it, but I sent it in PDF so they can print and look at it. And I did an initial one day, and then I said, if we like each other, we can continue, and we'll do an extended contract. So we did.
I'm
Extended
going
the
to pause you
contract.
there.
Yeah,
Did you do a one property or a one day?
I did one property because I only showed her one property the first time, and then the
Okay.
second, the renewed one, which was a couple of days later. I did it for a time period. I did a 2.5% commission. I know we say 3, but I did 2.5. But I did get this property was a 2% commission, and I got it. They agreed to 2.5 for me, so I was pretty. That was a bonus. I mean, I don't want to charge the buyer or anything, but
Right.
I did negotiate, and I have to say that's one thing I do like about the contracts now is that I've always tried to negotiate commission, because sometimes 2% is really not sufficient. Honestly, especially
Tracy,
if
we've been,
yeah,
not to
yeah,
cut you off, we've been just trying
yeah.
not to use actual numbers. So just,
Okay. Oh, okay.
you know,
All right. That's
yeah,
fine. That's fine.
yep,
Yeah.
I got you. But
Yeah.
continue on your story though. What do you like about
Yeah.
the new agreement?
So new, well, to me, it kind of puts the buyer's feet to the fire. If they want to continue to work with, they need a contract. For many years, I didn't do contracts because people were very loyal, but you know, and I always felt kind of funny about it. But I like it. I'm loving it.
Good.
I
Good.
really am loving it. I feel like it sets a tone. When I meet them, I'm giving them a professional package. I'm offering them my customized services, and I feel like we should definitely be doing contracts. So
Love
that's
it.
how I feel
Love it.
about it. It's a good day.
Anything in particular that you want to share with the group regarding how you got the offer accepted? I mean, first week on the market, did you feel like there was other offers on the table, and did you do anything special outside of good communication with the listing agent?
Yeah, so the offer was above. Yeah, I checked the market to see what else has sold, how fast it sold, what things had sold for. So we did a compelling offer above asking. I also had my buyer, she's pre-approved at one lender, but I had her do a follow-up with a lender that I use. And so I let them know when I wrote the offer that she's very well qualified, and this is why this other group also pre-qualified her, and so they can rest assured that this is going to be a solid deal.
Yeah,
And
so we don't
yeah.
we don't really talk too much about that, but that is a little, ideally we'd love to go to the listing agent and say, hey, this buyer's already underwritten, and we're just
Mhm.
subject to
Oh yeah.
appraisal.
Yep.
but a little bit strong. You know, if we can't get that far, you know, we really haven't talked about just saying, hey, just to let you know, they're pre-approved at 2 different banks. I feel really strong about this buyer, right? That can strengthen an offer too, just not having 1 pre-approval, having 2. So good
That's
share
true.
there.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
Cool. Anybody else have something? I didn't reach out to leadership yesterday. I don't know if you guys came across anything in your daily activities that might have been a weird scenario to share with the group. Do you have anything there? So
I got an excellent review from the homeowners that just bought a house. Well, buyers that just bought a house. I was really appreciative of the kind words that they said to about me.
yeah, what was the process, Sue, that you used to get the review?
Well, I did tell her that, you know, she'll get an email, and I would love for her to write her experience with me. And I would appreciate, you know, good words.
When did you ask? Was this post-closing that you asked?
Actually, it was at my walkthrough, the final walkthrough
Okay.
with them.
So, you know, just to throwing it out there, guys, it doesn't have to wait till the end. It definitely doesn't have to be post-closing, even walkthrough, right? It could be an accepted offer, could be post-inspections, could be, hey, the house appraised. You know, anytime where you feel like we're in a good place with this client, because sometimes towards the end, things can get a little wonky. So you might have been working with them and we've got a good experience and they give you a great review and then something kind of goes awry during the deal because there's just so many variables in a real estate transaction. So I'd ask earlier, guys, than final walkthrough. And if you're adding value earlier, I think you've got a better chance of just feeling out, hey, this seems like a good time to ask. So anybody want to share an experience or anything around when they're asking for reviews or their strategy around it? Do you have anything different that they're doing? Angela and Olin, I saw your hand up. Put that hand back up so I don't forget about you.
No, I kind of agree with what you're saying, Steve. For me, I have a checklist, you know, and whenever our offer gets accepted, that's when I ask my clients for a review because I feel like, you know, excitement's high and I always feel like they're pretty quick to turn around and give me a great review. So I always try and do it at the time of acceptance.
Yeah, I think that's probably your highest point. You know, and then there's still a bunch of stuff that can go wrong after that. So, Olin, what'd you have?
Good morning, everyone. I have a question. I have buyers who are looking for a mobile home. They're retired and they're selling their current home, to use the money for the mobile home. We saw one property. Then I asked them if their house is on the market. And they said that their town is pretty hot. So whenever they see something suitable, they will just throw their house on the market and it will be sold right away, because they don't want to be in a situation when they have to get out. So I'm just thinking if it's the right approach or if I should suggest something else for them.
I definitely don't think that's the right approach, but it's how are you going to explain that that's not the right approach, right? And it's when we go to write offers, they now have to write, unless they can buy this mobile home separately in cash. And if that's the case, then yeah, it doesn't matter. They don't
No,
have to
they
have
can't. I asked them and I was
Okay.
gonna dispute that, their decision, but I didn't want to push it yet.
Yeah. So yeah, the issue is going to become, we're still in a fairly seller's market, right? So when we go to write an offer, we're going to be up against another offer that could have the same terms without a house to sell. And
Yeah.
they're going to continue to lose out. So I think that's what you need to make sure that they understand, and also make them aware that they're not going to be homeless, right? We can put your house on the market, we can get it under agreement, and we can say that it's subject to you finding suitable housing. So now when we go to write those offers, we've already got, we can say, hey, we're under agreement, right? And I always try and stress there's different levels. We can be under agreement. We can be under agreement and our buyer has already done inspections. We can be under agreement, our buyer has already done inspections and they've got their mortgage. right? So those are the different levels. But yeah, right now they're going to be writing offers. So when they find that mobile home that they love, the chances are they're not going to get their offer accepted.
Yeah, that's what
So-
I thought. But what
Yeah.
if they don't find the perfect house after being on the market with their current house?
Then we let those buyers out of the deal, right? When we put the deal together, we got to try and figure out which buyer is willing to wait the longest. So when we put the house on the market, we might not take the highest offer. We might take the buyer that's willing to wait the longest amount of time.
Yeah. Okay.
That's for them to decide.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Martin, you had your hand up.
No, just I was gonna say the same thing Angela was gonna say, like when like I always ask when the offer is accepted,
Early.
because that's when they're really happy and they're excited about everything. So
Awesome. Awesome. Anybody else have a share, have a question, have something weird going on in a deal that would be great for this group to kind of dive into? Molly.
Morning. So I just wanted some clarification on the bill in Massachusetts where buyers can't waive inspections. I submitted an offer over the weekend. The listing agent, who's also like a broker owner of their place, so not necessarily having these kinds of dialogues, basically came back and the buyer's waiving inspections. They were like, you can't have that in there. And I was like, oh, like I know the bill was signed in, but I didn't think it was into effect yet. And they basically were like, nope, it's in effect. I didn't really fight them on it because I wanted to get the offer accepted. But just wanted some clarification on that. And what I ended up doing is keeping the language in the offer that buyer is willing to take possession as is, will not ask for repairs, and just did a really short inspection window. But I'm just not sure sort of where the status of the bill is right now.
My understanding is it's not in effect, and I'm assuming Lauren.
Actually, it's KB. Lauren's taking me to work today. So I had a conversation with MAR Legal about this about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And the bill, it is signed, but it is not it's not active right now. But there are quite a few different attorneys that are already recognizing it. Molly, I think I talked to you about it a little yesterday too, and I think that probably makes the most sense. But to be completely honest, if they were going by what the bill states, then you wouldn't be able to put a short inspection window. It's going to be a requirement that the client has 10 days. So it will be a completely new offer when it is put through and MAR is already working on the new forms. But for right now, if you get the pushback, I kind of agree, like, if you want to get your offer accepted, they can't go based on waiving inspections. So you might as well just put the timeline in there.
Do we have anything in writing, KB? Does the bill state that it goes into effect on this date? Is there anything that Molly could point to in a situation like this?
No.
It's weird. It
Not
just says
that I've found. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it gives you like vague dates. It's like, there's one thing that says in December, there's another thing that says early 2025. I mean, that's the way all of these things work. There's not like an exact date. You can pull up the bill. I know Lauren had posted it a while ago. I can post it again. But if you're part of MAR, you would have gotten an email probably about a month ago, and there's a whole breakdown of like the expected timelines, but there's not really anything that's set in stone. I'll find it. I can get it out there.
Okay. Lori.
I'm just wondering, with this bill being passed and basically it like enforcing that the buyer has to have a home inspection.
So they're not enforcing it, Lori, just so you know.
Oh,
they're not
okay.
enforcing that they have to have a home inspection. They're not allowed to use it as a negotiating tool. So they don't have to do the home inspection, but they can't tell the sellers, or the sellers cannot choose an offer based on the fact that they don't want to do an inspection. They can get their offer accepted and then they can decide not to do it, which I don't know who would do that. But
So on the offer template itself, it's not going to state whether or not you're having inspections. You just assume they are.
Yep, there won't be a contingency for inspection anywhere. It'll literally just say that they have 10 days to inspect, and after the 10 days from the signed contract, and I believe it's I don't remember if it's the offer or the purchase and sale. Do you remember?
The offer.
It's the offer. So from 10 days from the signed offer, they have their time to get their inspections done if they so choose.
So basically your inspection period is 10 days, bottom line, the end.
Yep.
And then, so buyer can do whatever they see fit as an inspection. So if they want to bring Grandpa Joe over to come look at the toilet bowl, and that's their inspection, that's okay.
No, it's going to be more like Connecticut.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more like Connecticut. I think they're going to require a licensed inspector.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so the buyer books the inspection and pays for it, and then like just has to have a copy of it showing that they're licensed somewhere on that report and it's sufficient.
I mean, we don't know the exact, I don't have any idea what the contracts are going to look like. Like, it's just the bill of what the state is saying is going to have to happen, but there's still too many, anytime this stuff changes, like, we just got to wait and see how they're going to roll it out to us.
Cause I just had someone waive on an offer I accepted for my listing, yesterday. So is there anything I have to do now, or is it?
No, you're fine right now. I mean, technically it's not in effect right now as per MAR legal.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Good to know.
Yep.
Good to
And
know.
as soon as we hear more, I'll make sure that we update everybody.
All right. Sounds good.
Anybody else have a scenario that would be a good share for the group? If we don't have anything, I did prepare the email sprinkler dialogue for you guys today. So let me get this up on the screen and shared, and we're going to run through this really fast. This is like a 30 to 60 minute training, but I just want to kind of give you guys the high level overview of the way this was explained to me, so that you guys can start to think about building out that email process. And why are you guys not able to see that? Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah, I see it. So when we talk about sending out a lot of emails, kind of the three problems are, hey, not sure what to send, not sure when to send it, and I don't want to feel like I'm bothering or being a sleazy salesperson, right? So the thought process is that if we have a good cadence to what we're sending it, and we have good high quality content, they shouldn't really be bothering anybody, right? And so here are the strategies, and this is Sharon's presentation that we could go deeper, but I think you guys are going to get the gist here. So the persistence is something like looking like this, which is it could be as many as 3 times a week. And I will tell you, I'm on Sharon's email list and I get 3 emails a week, and it doesn't feel like too much. If there's a topic that I feel like interests me, I read it. If it doesn't interest me, I pass. Right? I think as salespeople, we think, man, 3 emails a week, that's a lot of emails, one, and are people going to unsubscribe? And I think that the way that I'm digesting stuff is if there's some value in there, I'm going to stay subscribed. Might not read every one, but I'll read the highlights. I'll see if something kind of piques my interest, and I'll go deeper if it does. So I think we need to get over, hey, there's too many emails, I'm bothering people. And if it does bother some people, it is what it is. I think we'd rather see you sending out consistent value add emails than not sending out consistent value add emails. Right? And this graphic was just from some of the data that's out there on when to send this stuff. But the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday cadence is probably your best bet according to the data. The structure for the consumption, this is what most of his emails look like. We've got a really quick you know, hopefully hooking subject. We've got that pre-header, as a lot of you guys know, in your a lot of your email applications. You'll get like a little bit more than the subject line sometimes. I think this is a feature that you can kind of turn on or off in Gmail. And then some sort of a very basic theme as the body of the email, your content. A call to action. And then another piece of value. He almost always puts his little PS at the bottom. He does also something called the super signature, which is, let me see if I can pull this up. Do I have an example of his super signature? See if I can share something else. There we go. Beautiful. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but at the bottom of his emails, he's got a couple of different things that he puts in there every single time. And for you guys, you'd have to figure out what are those different little things. But his is, hey, whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways in which I can help you grow your business. Number 1, get my 4-week MBA free. Hey, this is a course that I put together. Number 2, how to find a mentor. His number 1 podcast episode that he ever recorded. Number 3, get my productivity playbook, the exact productivity framework that I teach 8 and 9 figure CEOs. And then number 4, work with me one-on-one. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or CEO, and you want to grow your business, I'd love to work and coach with you. So those are his 4 value adds that he just kind of has sitting in his signature line that every time that email goes out, you're going to see. You know, so some of the things that we could do as agents is you could have your, hey, here's my my buyer VIP program. You can download that here. Hey, get your home valuations. You can sign up for that here. Right? Maybe you have a newsletter that you're putting out once a month. Sign up for my weekly newsletter. You can get that here. So what are the value adds that you're putting out there to your community that can just kind of sit at the bottom? It doesn't have to be 4. It could be 1. It could be 2. It could be 3. It could be 4. It could be more. Right? But what are those cool little things that you can offer that people could register for? So that's that super signature concept. Maybe just start with 1 or 2 things that you could add that maybe over time, if you're sending thousands of emails, somebody's going to click on a couple of those things. Go back to, sprinkler system. Screen. So that's the content of what you're sending, or the structure, excuse me. And then for content, this is an interesting way to look at it, right? Can we educate and teach on some? Maybe that's the KCM market update. Can we showcase a deal? That's his deal of the week, right? Or his other one was want of the week. Let me know what you guys are looking for out there, and let me see if I can't be a matchmaker. And then his last one was his inspire concept, where that's just, hey, I wanted to share a story. Hey, this just happened to me in my life. Hey, I wanted to share an article about, this new app that I'm falling in love with. I think somebody that does this pretty well is Tim Ferriss. If any of you guys subscribe to Tim, he's got some pretty cool stuff that he'll be like, hey, this is what I'm watching. This is what I'm listening to. This is what I'm reading. Here's a new app that I've fallen in love with, right? And they can be short and sweet, and it's you. And you're trying to get people to kind of bond with you. So that's your groups of stuff that you can pull from as far as what are you coming up with for the content, the what to send, and trying to mix it up. If you're doing, like I said, the cadence here of Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, pretty aggressive, right? Maybe you just start with 1 email a week. Maybe you start with 1 a month just to try and start to get something out there. Maybe you do 3 a month. And one of them is an educate and teach, One of them is a deal of the week, and one of them is that inspiring story. Hey, just wanted to share this with you. Hey, just learned about this, thought I'd share. The goal is for you guys to just finding ways to be top of mind with your database. So that it's not just some random call once a year. Hey, are you looking to buy or sell, or do you know anybody else that is? We're trying to add value to our sphere, to our past clients throughout the year. Let me see here. So this was just like a him designing out your entire, in theory, your entire month. Hey, how am I going to break this out? When are they going to actual go? So this is the cadence. And if you use some of these email schedulers, you could do all of this on a Saturday and just have it all go out throughout the month. That's the basic gist of his email sprinkler system. So it's really not super complicated. It's just a matter of putting a system and process in place with stuff that resonates with you. And then, we always talk about kind of trying to find your tribe. And I think that's what you're trying to do here with an email sprinkler system. Who resonates with stuff that I resonate with? Who likes the music that I listen to, right? Who likes if you're into cooking and you're sharing some new recipe once a month or some new dish once a month that just resonates with you. If you're a health fanatic and you just wanted to do some health and wellness in one of your emails once a month, people will start to jive with those things. And I think it allows you to show who you are a little bit more than just a real estate agent. So yeah, there's some content in there, but hey, I'm going to share some personal stuff about who I am. And if you can start to get that bond when it is time for them to transact, they already kind of know you, like you, and trust you. Questions on the email stuff? Do we think it's something that we can accomplish? I mean, we have our events and giveaways. That's one email a month right there. You just took that and sent that out every month. That's one you've got knocked down. Then you look at, you got so many different KCM posts that come out there. Grab one of those, email that out. Now we've got 2 emails that you're sending out a month without really doing any work yet. The third one maybe becomes that personal story, or what is it about you, the agent, that you want to try and get out there and connect with people. Somebody say something. What are we thinking? Easy enough? Too difficult? I guess it starts with really having a database, right? If you're on this call and you're thinking about doing this, how good is the database? Have you built it out? When you meet somebody, what's your process for making sure that they get added to your distribution list? Right? Do you have that process built up? Angela. You're muted, Angela.
Sorry, that was a hand raised mistake.
Oh, no worries. Well, just give me your honest thoughts. I'm assuming you're not doing this, and it's because of one of those 3 reasons. I don't know when to send. I don't know what to send. I don't know how to send. Or are you doing something similar?
No, I think this is something definitely we can implement, into our systems that we're doing monthly. For me, I do send out KCM stuffs here and there. I try and send every Friday to my database open houses that are happening in different counties. But I definitely need some better content to be sending.
Anybody else doing anything, or is there a fear with doing this? What's the reality? You're the agent. You've heard that presentation. It seems super easy. What would be the hesitation to actually executing? If you're thinking it, I'm sure others are thinking it. I'm really trying to push the concept of your database and how important your database is your business. Those of you who not only have a database, but are connected with it are going to do more business. And those of you who don't have a database, you know, and are solely relying on leads all the time, it's going to be a struggle, right? So over time, I want you guys focused on how do I build up my database? How do I add emails? How do I connect more with these people and really grow my business? Because that, at the end of the day, that's your business. The size of your database and how connected you are to it. If you asked an agent, tell me those two pieces of information, you have a pretty good idea of how good of an agent they are. And I feel like most agents, the database is the last thing that they're worried about, and definitely not staying connected to it. So I think it's really, really important that you get this concept and just try and start somewhere. Even if it's, hey, you're starting with 20 people, right? And the goal is by the end of the year, you've got 40 people. It could be something super small like that. But have a goal to be building out this database and starting to try and connect with those people. We're a little over. I'm assuming nobody had anything pressing on a deal that they needed help with. I think we had a couple of open windows earlier in the call where we could have got something like that out there. So, okay, good. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing Tuesday. Go rocket. Maybe you guys, some of you have some offers that are floating out there that we're waiting to hear about. I hope you get them accepted, and we'll be right back at it again tomorrow morning. Take care.